Okay, Gary, talk to me. You were an ex-Brighton player, defender. What was it like back then, playing as an Albion player, to what the club has been now? Tell us, for the younger audience as well, what was it like to be a Brighton player back then?
It was brilliant. I signed on deadline day back in 1988, and where we won promotion, 10 games to go. I think we won 7 and drew 3, but it was great times. It's not the Brighton that we're seeing today. The Brighton today, I have to say, the football, boys, is fantastic. It's brilliant to watch. I love watching it. It's not only the winning of the games and the way they play, it's just everything about them, going 2 for 2 at the back, being comfortable with that, and as soon as they get hold of the ball, they just don't give it away. It's great.
And what about Lewis Dunk? Obviously, you being a defender, I bet you look at Lewis Dunk being, wow, what a role model, what a captain to be out back there.
He's a great captain, but he's also a good player.
Yes.
He's good in the air, he's very, very strong. And I'm not being funny, having someone like him at the back with Van Heck, who's been sensational since he's come in and started playing, that's the role model Van Heck's got to aspire to. And do the things that Lewis done. Yeah. But Van Heck is one hell of a player. Yeah. I think he's worth absolute millions. Good with the ball at his feet, decent in the air, good defender.
Yeah, and I see it with Igor as well. And Van Heck, he had a slow start, but really got into it, didn't he? And the same with Igor. I'm seeing a lot of improvement from him being a really good, solid centre back as well. Back in your time, you were quite stocky, quite big back then.
I don't think I was nice to play against. Yeah. We never shook hands before the game or down the tunnel. I used to look at my centre forward thinking, I'm going to give you one hell of a game today. Yeah. And that's what it was all about, really. Making your physical aspects of the game. More of that, really. But I like to play as well.
Definitely. And who would you relate most to out of the defenders that are playing for Brighton now? Who do you relate most to of how you used to play?
Probably Dunkey. Yeah? Because I was always speaking, always chatting to the lads. Yeah. Always telling them where to go or what to do. Yeah. But and you need that influence, especially for Brighton itself, because Brighton, we're a very, very young side. We've got kids in there, 20, 21, 22, so we're young, so we need Dunkey.
Yes. Brilliant stuff, Gary. Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you. Okay, we're here with no other than Paul Barber. Good to meet you, my friend. Really appreciate you coming on today. I'm really ecstatic for today. I just wanted to come and ask you, with how well we've been doing with the club recently in the up and coming years, and I just want to know, how further can Brighton get, in the next up and coming years? Because obviously you look further into the next years, obviously with Graham Potter going, you guys had already De Zerbi on the list to be the possible next manager. Now, obviously, going into the Premier League and European competitions, can we get further in that? Can we go to the Champions League? Are you planning on getting higher up in the Premier League or going to the next stage, Champions League?
Well, we've got no ceilings for the club. We want to try and take the club as far as we can. That means obviously keeping our best players for as long as we can, and then when they do eventually leave us, bringing in other players to replace them of a similar quality. But there are no ceilings at the club, and every year we say we want to improve on the previous year, and this year and next year will be no different. So let's see where we can take it.
Definitely, and I was about to say, are you kind of surprised how far this club has gotten, or was it all a plan? Was it all planned out to keep improving each year?
No, I'm not surprised, because I know that a lot of people have put in a lot of hard work. We've got a great chairman who's invested a lot in the club, and obviously you need a combination of a good owner, a clear vision, great facilities, good staff, and ultimately good players and coaches. And then you've got to have a little bit of luck as well. Like life itself, football isn't just about tactics and performances. Occasionally you need that little bit of luck. We've had it on occasions, we haven't had it on other occasions. But overall, over the years, particularly the last 10, 11, 12 years, we've been able to improve year on year. And there'll always be bumps in the road. There'll always be moments that don't go our way. And from those moments, we build resilience and we learn and we get better. And obviously, going forward, we'll have to keep doing that.
It's incredible to hear, and I just want to go on to your personal story. Obviously, you've come a long way yourself. Like I can relate personally because I didn't do too well at school. I know there's a lot of young viewers watching. Is there any words of like motivation to the younger audience that are watching? You know, just words of motivation to do what they want to do in their life, either it's football or it's anything in life, basically.
Well, I think the key is working hard, and unfortunately when I was at school I didn't work as hard as I should have done. It meant that in the years that followed I had to work even harder to catch up. I think once you get into your career, you've got to make sure that you take every opportunity that comes your way. Sometimes that means, you know, putting in extra hours. Sometimes that means doing things you might not always want to do or like to do. But most importantly, it means actually taking every opportunity and making the most of it. Working with people, making sure that as part of a team, you're playing your part. And I've been lucky over the years to work with some really good people, some great bosses who've inspired me and encouraged me to be the best that I can be. And that's all I ever say when I go in to talk to schools and kids in schools. Be the best you can be, work as hard as you can, take every opportunity that comes, and anything's possible. And don't ever feel that whatever your background, that you're going to be restricted or constrained in what you can do. Anything's possible if you work hard enough.
Fantastic. Paul Barber, I won't take any more of your time. Enjoy today, and thank you so much. Thank you. Really.
Mr. Tony Blue.
Tony Bloom, absolute pleasure to meet you, finally. And look, let's talk about this event today. Obviously, you tried it out in the US, and now we've finally done it in the UK. And is this going to be a thing we're going to be doing more often, bringing the fans together before the matches on away days, and having these little venues to bring the fans together?
Well, it works so well in the US.
Yes.
I met a lot of Brighton fans who are from Brighton, but also loads of stateside Seagulls, and there's a lot more of them. So it's just great to do the event here near the Emirates before the Arsenal game, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it could definitely be something we do now and again before an away game.
Incredible stuff, and I just wanted to ask you, obviously New Year is coming up. Have you got any New Year's resolution to obviously go into the next season? Anything you want to work on, anything? It could be charity-wise, could be community-wise, could be even the football-wise.
Well, I'm being kept very busy in all aspects of my life. I do a lot of charity stuff. Everything vis-a-vis Brighton and Albion has kept me extremely busy. Being in Europe, you know, the transfer windows is coming up. Even if we don't do too much, there's always lots of things happening, even if it's just loans in, different loans going back out, etc. So New Year's resolution is for peace in the world, success for Brighton and Albion, and everyone having lots of fun.
Absolutely, and I just want to say as well, I like what you're doing with the new fan zone. You're building a new fan zone, I believe, and of course you've been putting these electronic billboards up on the side of the Amex Stadium as well. So I like that you're doing a lot also outside of the football area of things as well. Just doing more things to entertain the fans, even as little as those billboards as well. Is there anything else? Obviously, are you hoping to get that fan zone built for the summer, or when's it going to be sort of built?
All being well, the fan zone, which should be really exciting for our fans, will be built for the start of next season. Hopefully that will get more fans in early, more fans happy to stay later. That will help with entertainment for the fans, more available food and drink. Transport should be improved, because if fans stagger their arrival times and departure times, that will also be better.
Yeah. I just want to ask, how stressful has it been lately with all the injuries going on? How stressful has it been? Obviously, it's made your life a bit more difficult, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm happy I'm happy not to be too stressed. We do get injuries. This season has been really one of a kind for us, particularly with all the European games. We've handled it very well. The players and young players have come in. For us to have done so well, for us to be in 8th position and top of the table in the Europa League. So we had those 2-3 midweeks in February as meant, and most of our injured players will be back by the end of January.
Yeah.
So I think the future looks really bright, and this season could be an historic season.
Incredible stuff. Tony Bloom, thank you very much. I won't take any more of your time. Really appreciate the interview. Thank you. Thank you.
We've got lots of international students here, and a lot of travelers around. So it's like people work.
Okay, we're joined with Joe, Andy and Jane. Now guys, look, we have a big game today. We've just had an amazing, obviously before build up, we could call it, with foods, lovely drinks. How did you find it actually, first of all, being in there and having that great atmosphere before and talking to loads of interesting people and Brighton fans?
Yeah, I thought it was absolutely a great experience, and it's just a great thing that the club has done for the fans actually, because people complain at times, but then they put on something like this, and I think it's great for all the fans to be in one place, and speaking to new people that you haven't met before at games has just been a really good experience. So
absolutely.
Really.
How do you feel it's been, Andy?
I think it's fantastic from the point of view. I think it makes fans feel valuable. I think Paul Barber said today that the fans are really important to the club, and I think this is just something which shows that the club value the fans, and they actually want to do something like this for the fans, and it is very, very much appreciated. And I think I'd encourage any Seagulls fan, if you get the opportunity to come along before a game, I think this is exactly what you should do, and meet the people, meet other fans, meet the board. I think it's fantastic. Really good day.
How have you enjoyed this occasion before the game today, and Joe?
Yeah, no, it's been really good.
Yep.
It's been really nice to meet all these new fans that you go to all these away games and you see all these people, but you never really sit down and chat to them. It's really nice to actually sit down and have a chat with some new people and hear some interesting stories from people. So yeah, it's been